Hey, what's up YouTube? So, it's been a while since I made a video, and that's because, well, life kind of ran me down a road that took me from Alaska to Alabama, and now I'm in flight school, learning to become a helicopter pilot. Anyway, so I decided to take a little time on this day to tell you about one of my other passions, which is motorcycles. So this one right here is the second motorcycle I bought. Yeah, where was I? Kind of had to stop there for a second. Oh yeah, so my second bike. My first bike was an '84 Yamaha Virago. I think it was a 650 or 700, something like that. Anyway, I ended up buying this several years later. Start out my biking career. It's a 2009 Sportster 1200 Custom. Financed it brand new from the Harley dealership. Funny story about that is my first love was sport bikes, street bikes. So I went to the Harley dealership when I was trying to get a bike because I horse traded my Virago away to my brother. And I think he got the better end of the deal on that, but I digress. Anyway, I ended up going in there to buy a sport bike, and I was a die-hard Honda man. And so I had a '91 Honda Civic. I love that car. Drove it almost literally to death. And so anyway, I was gonna buy myself a street bike, and I decided, well, since the Virago was a good starter bike, I'd been riding dirt bikes previous to that for years, and enduros. They weren't mine; they were owned by my dad and my brother, but I wanted to get myself a Honda CBR, and at the dealership they had a brand new 2009 Honda CBR 600RR. It was in my favorite colors, orange and black. Oh, it's a gorgeous bike, and I wanted it so bad. Anyway, they Honda wouldn't finance me on it, which sucked because it was only like $9 grand for the bike. So the girl I was dating at the time, her dad had a couple of Harleys. He had like, I think a Wide Glide or a Street Cruiser or something like that, and then he had a little bit older Sportster, much like this one. And so we talked her dad into going for a ride one day, and I drove the Sportster with my girlfriend, and he drove his bike with his wife, and we went for a cool ride, and I decided I really liked Harleys. So I went back to the dealership the next day, and on the floor they had this 2009 Sportster 1200 Custom in Harley's racing colors, which are orange and black. And I thought it was the absolutely gorgeous bike, a perfect blend of chrome and color. It was about $10,000, I think a little over 11 with sales tax and all that stuff. So I financed it out there with $1,000. Took me a couple years to pay off, and had it for about a year. Put about 1,000 miles on it, and then I ended up having to move to Alaska, and I left my bike in Utah. And my older brother, he ended up taking care of the bike for me, and he put another about 9,000 miles on it. So this bike is several years old, and it's got about 10,000 miles on it, and it looks pretty much brand new. He took really good care of it for me, and I appreciate that. So anyway, in the process of coming down to Alabama, I was able to get the bike back, and super excited about that, and just getting back into riding. But I just had this itch for getting a street bike because I've always wanted a street bike. So I was looking around and found this glorious beater. Is according to the VIN number on the frame, a 1996 Suzuki GSX 600F Model T Katana. Now, the reason why I bought this one is because I was looking for a cheap project bike, something I could customize and work on. I found this one, listed at $1,000. The guy dropped the price down to about, I think I paid $825. Yeah, $825. No title because it's kind of a freaking bike that came through a junkyard where him and his friend worked, and they took parts off of one bike to fix another bike. And so I got it because, like I said, I wanted a project bike, and I did get a project bike. This thing is a Franken bike from, I wouldn't say it's from hell, but some pretty redneck engineered stuff going on. Anyway, so I'm excited because it's almost like a clean sheet. I'm almost glad that it's not in really good condition, you know, like brand new fairings, because as I got more and more into the street bikes, I mean, I like the look of a full fairing bike, but they're just too pretty for me, and I'm more of a, I got more into the Street Fighter kind of thing, so this kind of worked out for me because it didn't have the fairings on it, and I didn't have to worry about taking fairings off or chopping it up because she's already pretty heinous. But anyway, it had a headlight on it, and it was pretty jury-rigged. As you can see, the wiring is just duct tape and fast connects and stuff like that, and gauges aren't quite set on right. So I took the headlight off, trashed it immediately because it was junk, and they had a couple of mirrors that were bolted on here and here, and they were the turn signal kind, but one of them was like busted, and they actually used the head of an old screwdriver to attach it with a piece of plastic and duct tape, and it was gnarly. Not in a good way gnarly. So I took those off and trashed them, and you can see the seat was recovered at some point, this kind of funky cloth, so I'm gonna probably recover that again. And cool thing is it came with a Vance & Hines Super Sport exhaust system already on it, which is good. And they kind of jury-rigged some turn signal indicators here on this plate that they attached. You can take those off. It's actually got the factory tail light on it, but that's the other thing they did with this, is they spray painted terribly the frame, pretty much the whole black bike. They literally like took the seat off and spray painted the entire bike, everything, engine, hoses, frame, everything that wasn't taken off the bike basically got a couple coats of black spray paint, to include the tail light, and then they put these weird little like lens things on it to make it look like it's got projector lights, but this whole thing is actually red plastic for the original tail light assembly. So, and then they masked off the tank and gave it a color of almost glossy lime green. And then they did the same thing to the rims, which actually I think is kind of a cool effect, this green and black stripe, although kind of odd at the same time. But as you can see, the tank's got a little bit of damage to it, but that's okay. Tanks are super expensive for this, so I'm just gonna probably grind off some paint, attach a pulling rod, and see if I can't pull these dents out. It doesn't have to be perfect, I just wanted to look better than it does. So yeah, jumped on the internet, went on eBay, ordered a bunch of parts to start kind of rebuilding there. Got a new headlight assembly coming, got new turn signals. What else did I order? I ordered a new fuel cap for the tank because this one is busted, doesn't stay closed. And ordered a new ignition switch because that one's been jacked to hell. And I don't know if that was prior to them getting it or not. Who knows? Like I said, it's a junkyard build. So I need to do some work to the rear end because both my chain adjustment plates are bent. That one's not too bad, but this one's pretty jacked up, as you can see. So yeah, and I'll bring you guys updates as I move along with my Street Fighter build, show you how it turns out. Anyway, so those are my bikes. Also, as part of this bike build, I'm gonna start doing moto vlogs because I kind of like that thing. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, if you like this video and you want to follow my build and follow my content as I go along, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And check out my playlists, and also check out my product reviews for aviation stuff, and eventually my flying videos. Anyway, YouTube, take care, and we'll catch you in the next video.